Welcome to Slim Nation's One-on-One podcast with conversations featuring the host, James Slim Overton.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Slim Nations 101's podcast. I'm James Slim Overton, and I'm here with a special guest this morning. And we met through Facebook, really, I think, or online. And we both have a mutual friend, a good friend of mine, Kalima Overton Amin. And I think that's how we connected. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I'm talking to Rhaeem Shabazz, and he is a resident of Hampton, Virginia, and here in the Hampton Roads area. And I guess we kind of, for the last week or so, followed each other and decided let's have a conversation. It's kind of a generational conversation. You got this young brother here, and me. I've been around for a while, so we're going to talk about a few things. But first, Raheem, I want you to tell everybody about the organization that you are a part of, and I see. Well, I'll let you explain about the organization and what are you doing and how long you've been in existence. So whatever you want to say about it.
Right. Well, first, I want to say thank you for allowing me come on board your show, and I
Thanks for
want to
being here, brother.
thank Sister Overton and Amin as well for introducing us. And like you said, this is definitely a generational bridge where we are
Yes.
nation building. And Do for Self Family Organization. Basically, we are a revolutionary group, but we're also a political group. We take political stances within the community. We are about feeding the community, feeding our children, and at the same time, fighting missing children, missing adults, black on black violence. We want to bring a reduce to that. And also, I'm part of the new Black Panther Party and the Huey P. Newton Gun Club that's within the local area as well. Honorable leaders throughout the Southwest and East Coast, where basically we're trying to unite black men and black women and brown and black, and basically try to fight the imperialism and the supremacy that's going on in here in America. And not sure who's voting for who, but the last president we had in the office, besides the current one, there was men and women riding around with MAGA flags and their trucks screaming Trump and screaming MAGA, this, that, and the third. And so what we want to do is make sure that we prepare for any type of situations that can happen. And so we want to prepare our youth as well to go into these HBCUs and get their education, become political science majors so they could go into the government office and become politicians. Because once upon a time, we ruled the government. Once we came out of Reconstruction, we was the dominant race in the government. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
we want to take it back to that time frame. And so we are here. We are here. We are fighting daily. We are fighting hourly. And so me, myself, and a few other brothers and sisters in the Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News, Richmond, DC, Philadelphia, Charlotte, the whole state of North Carolina, in Memphis, Tennessee, Texas, Mississippi, New Orleans, California. There's a lot of brothers and sisters that's united, and so we're going to do it, and so that's what we're here for.
Yeah, such good work, and especially those areas that you mentioned. The work is really needed, and your organization probably would be doing what you're doing anyway. But as we talk about, it's a generational thing with me. As me being a in my teens or in college in the '70s, late '60s and early '70s, it was when the movement was beginning. When we were kind of recognizing how proud we are to be black, and that's when the Black Panther Party was really rising. And doing some of the work that you're talking about now. A lot of people looked at them a certain way, but years later, when they start really defining what the Black Panthers were all about, people saw them in a different light. And it's appropriate that you have something going on now because they're trying to reverse all that stuff. And you mentioned
Right.
Reconstruction, right after slavery, we were kind of, uh, we were a part of the country, and most of the Black elected officials or officials, a lot of them were appointed, but a lot of the official senators and state senators that held offices were in the South because we were dominant in the South.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then you had these groups like the KKK, the resistance started, and that's when you start seeing uh, the neighborhoods, the communities like Rosewood and Tulsa that came later, but that's been going on for a long time.
Exactly.
And then you saw a reversal of a lot of those strides we had made right after slavery. And then, you know, then in the 60s, um, Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act, and which eliminated some of those restrictions that we had as far as voting. At first, we couldn't vote at all. And
Mm-hmm.
then when they figured out that they let us vote, then they had all these restrictions like paying poll tax, which most of us couldn't pay, and things like that. So, and then we got beyond that. But now today we see, with you mentioned Trump, with the Trump era, and it's not just him. He's just the face of
Public.
all these different people because all those people that voted for him, were just waiting for somebody like him. And you see a reversal, and it's kind of hard to even imagine, Ryan, that that how do we get here that we reversing going back? Who goes back?
Right.
But
Right.
this is the country, and now it's at the point where they just telling us right in our face what we can do, and which is why. And I'll let you speak to this, and I'll tell you my reason why it's so important to vote. And like you're doing and mobilizing. A part of what you're doing includes voting, and a lot
Right.
of people might be discouraged because of what's going on, or if they don't think their vote counts. But long as I've been around, I've seen people lose by 50 votes, you know,
Right. Right.
or even less than that. So if
Right.
you don't think, and we had a delegate here in Virginia that lost by one vote,
Mm.
and
What was his name?
I have to remember that for you. But it was a lady. Well, what happened? They were tied, and they flipped a coin.
Wow.
Can you imagine somebody being in there because of a coin toss? So uh, that lets you know that your vote counts. So
Mm.
with all the things you're doing, talk about how you feel about how important it is to vote, along with all the things that you're saying, because that's just one part of it, but you have to be active as well.
Absolutely. And I agree with the youth and the generation that's at hand right now. We are discouraged.
Hmm.
We we are
And I
discouraged.
understand
Like
that. I understand.
and me, I have a thorough understanding of what our ancestors went through just to vote. We was lynched, we was murdered, we was assassinated. Our lead There was a lot of Republicans, black Republicans during the Reconstruction era that was assassinated or murdered just because they was encouraging blacks to vote for a Republican. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So that's what we went through. You know what I mean? We fought to vote. You know what I mean? We earned the right to vote. And this is our land. So we got the right to vote. But the people that's in power, the certain gatekeepers, like you said, those who might be controlling Trump or those who are supporting Trump and want him to be in it because that's the type of era they want, we got to get them out of there. So
Yeah.
we want our youth to go get those political science degrees. We want our youth to become mayors and city councils
Right.
and delegates and senators, and our daughters, our sons to run for president. Because even though the only time I voted was for Barack Obama, and we want more black men and women to become president than just Barack Obama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We
Because
want
that
we
proved it
want
can happen. That proved
You
it
know what I
can
mean?
happen.
He opened up the door, whether he was a good guy or bad guy, whether his
Yeah.
politics is
Nobody's
he
perfect.
opened. Nobody's perfect, but
Mhm.
he opened up the door. That's the main thing I'll say about him. Of all the things, so we want to
Sorry, we
triple the black culture.
lost your feed there for a minute. So go ahead and repeat what you said.
Basically, we want to. Barack Obama opened up the doors, so we want our youth to walk right up in there peacefully and comfortably without being gatekeepers or even having to compromise. We want them to really have that power where they can make congressional decisions that benefit our black community or the black and brown community. And so,
So, so
voting is important.
let's talk about the revolutionary piece, because I heard you use that term, and some people might hear and say, "Oh, he wants to take up arms," and it's a good argument for saying that we need to be ready to protect ourselves as well. But the
Absolutely.
revolutionary piece, I think it's a lot more than what people might hear when you first use that term. So talk about that.
Well, me, first and foremost, I did 8 years in the Navy. So the military tactical
Thanks for your
operations
service.
were no salute. And so military tactical operations is mandatory within any community. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like even for your household, you know how to protect your house. You know
Right.
how to protect yourself. So within us, we got to know how to protect ourselves from police abuse. We got to know how to protect ourselves from martial law, which could happen because when COVID, the pandemic happened, the cities were shut down. Nobody could go anywhere. We was this close from being from martial law. So if they come in and take your guns and kick in your doors, you want to know how to protect yourself. But the main thing, we want to defend our community, the battered females, the elders that's being abused in the nursing homes. We want to defend the youth. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of single
Mhm.
parent homes where these children going to schools and they're being bullied and they're being harassed by the teachers or the principals or even the students. And so we want to make sure that we teach the youth karate, we teach the youth boxing, we teach them physical education. But it is mandatory for the black man and black woman to have weapons. That's our natural right within America. Isn't there a National Rifle Association
Yes, the
out there? That's our
constitutional right.
constitutional right. So
And
at the
like you
end of the
said,
day,
it's not. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
it's not about, oh, I'm big and bad because I have a gun. Like there's men and women who are cowards with their guns worldwide, man, nationwide. So we're not portraying that. Like our main thing is protected. We are vanguards. You know what I'm saying? So when I
Yeah,
say revolution, I say revolution is basically where we want to change the current events that's going on in America. We want to
yeah,
end imperialism. We want to end white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? And that
yeah.
starts with the revolution, not kicking in the doors of the white man or the government or raiding the national capital like they did when Trump lost. Nah, we can hit them within, like a spook by the door. Send our
Hmm.
children to these HBCUs and get them educated. Get them in the congressional offices. Increase the black caucuses. Increase black entrepreneurship so we can take over the black. Excuse me. We can. I don't even want to say infiltrate, but I want to say infiltrate the stock market because the stock market is a 500 index, right? 500 companies.
Hmm.
We want to own half of it. Why? Because we are the biggest consumers in America. So why we don't have companies on the stock market? Why we don't have our own stock market, Black Wall Street, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, or
Yeah.
in Charlotte, North Carolina, and certain parts of North Carolina, or basically like in certain areas of Los Angeles. We need to make it more organized. We want to practice group economics, and we want to build more institutions, educational institutions. You know,
Yeah. And back in the '70s, there used to be this thing where the revolution would not be televised, and what that meant was, the revolution, when it happens, you won't even know it's happening, and
right?
it might be partly uh, protection, like the Black Panthers, advocated, and or the other part is we educating ourselves, and we're gonna be sliding in positions that we won't normally in because we educated and we prepared ourselves for that. And that's what it meant by the revolution won't be televised because, what will be televised is the violence. But on the other hand, we'll be slipping into places and to areas where you never thought we would be. And I remember you saying something too, because as you talk about what your organization does and it's multifaceted, you know, we also have to be aware of yes, you talk about the violence um, and the term black on black crime. That don't like to use that because the stats will show you. If blacks would kill blacks, white would kill whites, Chinese would kill Chinese if they're
Right.
concentrated in the same area. So
Right.
that's like an opportunity there that that's there. But we have to be aware and try to deal with the root causes.
Poverty.
Sometimes the families, are the base. That's where it all starts with many young kids. The stabilization of our families, and
Mm-hmm.
the welfare system came in and kind of blew that up there for a while because it took the men out of the home. And I heard y'all talk about that, a little bit on the show that you were on. So you still there? Your voice still there? Okay, I see you moving around.
I got I'm in the process of cleaning this building.
Oh, okay. Look, well, I mean, we just wanted to touch bases, so don't want to hold you, don't want to hold you long. We have other opportunities to have much longer conversations,
No,
but
we good. We're good. We're good.
yeah, but yeah, you're getting back. The root causes. We have to make sure that we catch our youth when they're young, and make sure that the families or the parents will be parents.
All right, I'm back. Absolutely. And
Mhm.
we just the main thing is we want to encourage the black man and the black woman to stay home. You know what I'm saying? Like to love
Mhm.
each other. Love and that excellence needs to be increased. It needs to be monopolized within the black community as well. And so, first and foremost, I want to introduce you to my lady. Her name is Jasmine.
Hello, Janice.
And we got a little janitorial business within the 757 area as well. So we got a few buildings we clean throughout the days and the nights and the weekends. So we stay a little busy. But another thing is Vanguard for our community. That's something that's very important within our community. And that's what the Black Panthers were about in the 70s. The Huey P. Newton, the Bobby Seale, the Asada Shakurs, Geronimo Pratts. And so basically we want to bring it back to that era. No fear at all. The black community should not fear Black Panthers. We are here as vanguards for each other. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
we're not here as a gang. We're not a gang. This is an organization that's here for the revolution. That's here to stay as well.
Hmm.
So our main objective is to keep it pushing and growing. We want to turn the young shooters that's in the city of Portsmouth, Newport News, Hampton, Norfolk into revolutionaries. We want to turn the young black sisters, truthfully, who's out there on the stripping poles, into revolutionaries. You know what I'm saying? So we want to change the forefront that's going on in Black America right now. Make them more political, make them more militant by any means.
So it's mostly short term and long term objectives that you all have.
Absolutely, absolutely. Every 2 weeks we have a meeting without in Norfolk, Virginia, and I can send you the details and you can post it if you get the chance.
Yeah.
Where basically we are encouraging brothers and sisters come meet up with us and learn about the Panthers, and also we do clothing drives. The leader of the new Black Panther Party that started the clothing drives and food drives. We was just in Charlotte, North Carolina about 3 weeks ago. We drove as in one truck, about 6 people,
Wow.
and it was peaceful. We made it there and back, and The main thing is, in a minute we're gonna get the leader. He's gonna get us a cargo van so we can go to Washington D.C. We're trying to hit every city so we can start chapters in that area because majority of the black cities are under an epidemic crisis, which is the black on black violence, um, fentanyl, drug epidemics. You know what I'm saying? So the drug epidemic. So our children are being failed in these public schools. They're not even sending the children home with projects and
So, I
doing
mean,
field trips anymore.
are you advocating charter schools or homeschool teaching, or just a lot of improvements we need to do in our public schools?
Absolutely. And so, like another leader, we support is Dr. Umar Johnson. He's setting up a Marcus Garvey Academy School in the city of Delaware. We want to continue that as well. Like, I don't care if the building has 5 children. We want to have more academies for our children throughout the United States. We want to take back the education for our children. And so that's something that I'm advocating myself. We're getting a headquarters soon. We have a few educational teachers within the 757 area where we can set up an online tutoring program for the children, or either an online basic courses for the children. Let's say one child is failing in science. We'll have a science teacher who's great at science. We'll have a math teacher or a history teacher. Me, I love history. I might can teach history.
Yeah.
Physical education, teaching the children how to play sports or become more academics as well. So even if it's a chess club for the children. So we're about to get a headquarters within the next few months where basically we'll be able to have a ground and a place to have more meetings and at the same time politic and nation building. That's what the Panthers are about, nation building. Not here to intimidate the city or anybody. We're human beings just like everybody else. I'm only $1.60. I can't beat up the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like I know how to defend myself, but at the end of the day, I can do a little bit more better. So we are here to learn from each other as well. There's brothers who know how to box. There's brothers who know how to do. There's girls, there's sisters who know how to do karate. I don't know karate, so of course I want to know karate. So
it's also that's also good for your health wise because take it from me, I'm sitting here, I'm a heart transplant patient, and I had a heart transplant. It's been 9 years now, but probably that's something that our young brothers won't have to go through if they uh, are healthy and realize their family history, health history, and things like that. And a lot of those things we have to teach them. As you're talking about the schools and what you want to teach, need to have more control over the curriculum because they're trying to take all our history out of our schools, and we need to make sure we pass that history down. We've made some significant strides here, and we pretty much built the United States of America. And we need to be able to go to our young folks, and they need to know that history, and it needs to be passed down, just like they did long ago in Africa. All their history was passed down by word of mouth from generation to generation. And if we're not careful, the powers that be will take our history away from us because they're taking it. They're trying to ban certain books and things like that. So what you're talking about as far as education is going to be important, having control over that curriculum and what we teach our youth. So, and I think it's also important, like we're doing now, we say about the generational thing. I've seen this so often where the older folks like myself might talk about the younger generation, and the younger generation might say you're all too old. I think it can coexist. You have a older generation that's seeing some things and might have a little bit of wisdom, and the younger people have that wisdom as well, but they have the energy and they have that um, those creative ideas that they want to put forth, and we can help with that. So it needs to be a combination or a cooperation of our youth and our older generations in order to make this thing work.
Absolutely. And it's like you said earlier, the generational bridge gap. You know what I'm saying? We want to
Mhm.
basically reach all ages and have Panther Cubs like they used to have in the past.
So and you mentioned about you meet every 2 weeks. So how would someone get in touch with you? And you can say it now, and then you can send me the information later, and I'll post it on my page, and we'll talk again, of course. But how would someone find out more about your organization, more about what you do, or if they want to be a part of it, how would they get in touch with you? And the information about the meetings that you all have.
They can reach me on Facebook, Rhaeem Shabazz, and at the same time, I can send the literature, the flyers, and everything about our meetings that we have every 2 weeks. We also have local conferences once a week as well. And basically, we're going to be in the Hampton area, the Newport News area, the Norfolk area, doing food drives, clothing drives. We have a Melanin Festival coming up in June. We have a Juneteenth Festival coming up in June as well. And there's another festival coming up in the Ocean View area. So basically, we're going to be outside. We're going to be outside. And
Yeah,
so that's and I'm gonna give you the few the flyers, and we're gonna keep on pushing the agenda. The agenda is spreading awareness. Not everybody might want to be a Panther. Not everybody might want to be a revolutionary. That's understanding. Walk with us, support us. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like, each one teach one. We all need each other out here. You know what I'm saying? So there's missing children out here. There's children that's falling to the prison system daily. The school to prison pipeline. So we want to change that pipeline. We want to take the children from the school to the colleges.
right.
So that's our main agenda. So
To the college or the
understand,
workforce.
understand that everybody might want to be a Black Panther or a revolutionary. That's cool. Walk with us. You know, learn. And at the same time, I learn from everybody as well. Like, I learn from you. I learn from the elders. I learn from the youth. We have a mission ahead of us. We got groups like the Proud Boys and the Nazis and
Yeah,
all them little white militias out there. They're organizing. They out there by the thousands. And I know
yeah.
exactly where they train. They train right up Mooryard, North Carolina, on the borderline of Chesapeake.
And
So
they're not
once you
even
go,
worrying about showing themselves now.
and they know how they know how to fly drones. They know how to do tactical operations. They got their own equipment. They got their own land where they're training on. They're bombing stuff on it. They got C4 bombs up there. Ask
Yeah,
me how I know. I was a supply logistics working on that base.
yeah,
Little did I know who was I working for. So I lasted a month on that job, but I learned enough. I took a lot of equipment, brought it home, and passed it out. That was years ago, so I can't be indicted for none of that.
yeah.
But at the end of the
It's
day,
past it now. Yeah,
passed. But I learned who the Proud Boys was. This was before they started to get a little bit more organized. Now they out there. So I
yeah,
know
yeah,
exactly what he had. And so they could easily march through the city. What the Black community gonna do?
yeah. Because the president at the time gave him that stage to be able to do
Yeah.
that.
And they,
And
they,
you,
they raided the White House. They raided
yeah,
the Capitol.
yeah, on his orders.
On his orders. So he can
Said,
turn
stand
around and
down
tell
until
them
I
to raid
tell
our
you.
community. He can tell them to turn around and raid our community.
Yeah,
What we gonna do then?
yeah. It's going back. And you all are 501c nonprofit as well, right?
We're working on it. We're
Oh,
working on it.
okay.
I'm trying to get the proper permission through the organization, because the original Black Panthers didn't want to deal with the government and get any type of grants. So let's say down the line I get the opportunity to buy a few buildings that's worth a couple millions, and I might need a grant or two. And so that's where we're building with other people as well, where we have CFOs and organizations that's teaching us how to operate with these 501Cs and do it properly and not be compromised or controlled by the government. So So
Yeah.
right now, that's the main thing of us doing for self. Like I didn't create do for self. Do for self been a saying and a term and a motto that's really started with Brother Marcus Garvey and that continued into the Nation of Islam in the '60s. And then there's a brother Jeremiah Shabazz in Newark, New Jersey, who continued it, and I learned it from a brother, another Shabazz in West Philadelphia. He owned his own daycare, where they was teaching the children throughout the summer and the winters do for self, knowledge of self. And
Yeah.
so that's why I basically got the do for self model in. So we want black entrepreneurs to win.
Yeah. And we have to teach our kids to be creative, critical thinkers. You know,
Critical
you have to
thinkers,
be
yeah.
a critical thinker out here in this world today, be able to think for yourself. But when it comes down, because as we talk about having voting rights, you have to be a critical, you have to be able to make that right decision and be able to look at the people that are running and say, okay, is this person going to serve my interests? Or I'm just going to vote for him because he's popular because everybody else said vote for him. You have to be able to be
Absolutely.
an individualist and look at the person for what they're worth and how they can serve your community and yourself. So the voting won't mean much if you just follow suit, just because the person looks good or sounds good. It might not be the
Right.
best person for you. So being able to critically think and be able to make up your own decisions once you go in that voting booth is going to be critical. It's going to be important. But look,
Absolutely.
go ahead. You gonna say something?
Nah, I was gonna let you continue.
Yeah, yeah, and I was gonna say, I appreciate you talking, and we'll do this again, and and uh, and I appreciate you reaching out, and I'm glad we connected because I'm gonna try to make some of those events that you have and bring my camera so I can, show it on my page and other pages like that, and let people know what's
That'd
going
be
on
great.
within your organization.
And
And
there's a few elders that's local that I would like to introduce you to.
oh, okay, be glad to
That's
meet
within the
them too.
organization. So I'm definitely gonna introduce you to them. That'd be great. That'd be real great.
Sounds good because I know sometime you get over here in Portsmouth, don't
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got I be in Portsmouth I got 2 contracts I clean in Portsmouth.
you?
And
Oh,
the
okay.
last time I remember Brother James. Brother James is a good guy. I like to hop on this podcast one more time as well, but right
Yeah,
now
well,
we definitely busy.
we'll do this a lot. We'll do this a lot and make sure. And I'll bring you on our other show. We have another show called Portsmouth Coffee Talk, and we have two other hosts on there, and we talk about uh, issues on that show as well. And I like to do this when I have a one-on-one, and then when we go on Portsmouth Coffee Talk, we just talk about national issues and politics and sometimes and that's another way of giving your group or what you're doing exposure. You know,
Right.
so really appreciate you and get out there and do that work, man.
I greatly
Because
appreciate you.
and if you're talking about education, it's a need for skilled workers too. Because not everybody's going to go to college, so we need to make sure we get those skilled workers to get those skills out there. Because I think y'all mentioned it on your show. I'm gonna let you go. Mention on your show that you know uh, electricians, plumbers, and all that. A lot of times they make more money than college degree
Right.
people. Not putting that down, but it's a shortage of those skilled workers that we need people in.
Right. We want to bring back the trades back into the
The
community, man,
trades,
because the
right?
trades
Yeah,
when I was growing up, there used to be trades within the community, and they're straight out of high school. Now you got to go sign up to take a 2-year course just to get a trade.
yeah,
So that's another reason why we want to have institutions within our community where you got brothers who know how to do electricity or plumbers or HVACs and computer intelligence specialists. So we want to bring those trades right back to our community
yeah.
immediately.
That's so important. That's so important. Give everybody an opportunity.
Yep.
Everybody. And even in the music field, you say you like music because you never know. You expose the young people to a lot of things, and you never know what might catch on with some kids. And if they're
Right.
never exposed to it, you never know what kind of genius you might be passed over
Right.
because he never was exposed to it. Even if it's playing the violin,
Playing a violin or piano or
Yeah,
harp or
yeah,
organ, it don't matter.
yeah.
Trumpet.
Yep.
I have a daughter and a son, so I tell my son, listen, I want you to get your scholarship. I want you to get academic, and by any means, even if it's playing chess or
Yeah.
playing soccer or baseball, whatever your talent is, we're gonna find it.
Yeah, there's plenty of opportunities out there. You just have to
Mm-hmm.
make sure you expose them to a lot of different things, and they'll latch on to what interests them, and it might be a way to keep you from going in your pocket to pay for 4 years of college.
I might more likely I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to.
Well,
My
be
son,
prepared, but it doesn't have to be that way, brother.
right. I'm
All right,
working on
look,
it.
I appreciate it, man, and we'll be in touch. We'll talk again soon, and I think I left my phone number. We'll contact through phone next time and talk a
Roger that.
little bit and decide what we want to do as far as keeping your awareness out front and on these airways.
Roger that. Roger
Need to
that.
do that. All right, my brother, and say hello to your wife and don't work too hard.
It's my girl. It ain't my
I
wife.
mean, okay, all right.
We
Am I
how it's
talking
out
it
for us
into
being
it?
around. We got. I just dropping her off of work. I gotta go clean 2 of my buildings, and it's busy. This is
It's
what
a
it is.
busy life, huh?
You know what I'm saying? But I won't complain about it. You know, this is setting the tone where I don't want our children to go fill out any type of applications.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I really want them to do for self. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So I tell my daughter, hey, once you finish college, whatever type of business you want and whatever you're majoring in should be your business.
you're
You know
right.
what I'm saying? And I tell my son the same thing. So at the end of the day, like, I'm gonna set the tone by any means. Like, I work out there in the shipyard at night and I'm doing this during the day. I done switched my whole work schedule just so I could do for self even more.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. You know what I mean? It don't mean like we're making a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep. But
the main thing in the black community, we want to make more money. So
right. And then you want to create generational wealth. And you don't have to
generational
be
wealth.
a wealthy person to do that, but
And wealth starts in here too.
it starts here too, and you create that generational wealth in the mind and financially. And it's not like you're going to give them everything, but you just have that to give them a head start. And they've been doing it in other communities for years, and you'd be wondering how come this guy is retiring at 50 and
Right.
I'm still working till I'm 70, because that family is just passing down generational wealth.
Insurances.
Yeah.
Another good way of wealth is
Yeah.
insurance.
Yep.
That's what the
All
good
right,
old
brother.
boys
Take
do.
care.
All right,
Have a
salute,
great
bro.
day, and we'll be in touch. Thanks
Hey,
again for
I
coming on.
greatly appreciate you. I greatly
I
appreciate
appreciate
you.
you too, brother, right
And
here.
I'm an unorthodox soldier, so pardon me.
I hear you.
All
I'm
right,
with you.
salute. All right, God bless you.
You take me back to the 70s when I was that that guy that was discovering my blackness, and
Yeah.
one day I'll tell you about that experience.
I look forward to it. Salute,
All
brother.
right. All right.
Greatly
Take care, brother.
appreciate it. All right.
Be good. Okay, I forgot to tell you, thanks for watching, and we appreciate you. And make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share this show. A very interesting conversation with Brother Rhaeem, with Brother Shabazz, and we hope to have him on here again and talk about what his organization is doing and a lot of things that they're doing in the community to help us make it through what's going on now, as we have those that in power or want to be in power again. What they're trying to do, make America great again, whatever that means. You know, if you want to make America great again, make everything equal, make it easier for us to vote, and make us feel like we're a part of a country that we built. All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you next time. Take care.